Alright, so I'm going to blow a couple notes and then I'm going to ramble. Alright, so I just got Ralph Salomoni's newest book, the True Power to the Max. It's we'll call it the newest version of whatever we are referring to when we say tongue controlled embouchure, TCE. I studied with Ralph for like 2 years when I was a teenager, and as a comeback player, I thought, hey, I have no obligations to anyone. I can change whatever I want. It doesn't matter if I sound terrible because I'm not playing for anybody. I'm just, doing this for me. And the changes to the method are actually pretty drastic, but asterisks. The Jerry Callis stuff I've been reading since I was 13 years old. So there is a lot of evolutionary changes over time. The newest version from Ralph seems to be the closest to the oldest version from Jerry that I remember encountering. Maybe 15 or 20 different diagrams that Jerry drew throughout his lifetime. And yeah, I think the newest stuff looks like the oldest stuff. The position for everything in the inside of my mouth when forming the embouchure and how I've been trying to play the trumpet has been we're gonna take the tongue and rest against the cutting edge of the bottom teeth, and then we're gonna take the tongue and push it forward and try to arch it up into the inside of your mouth, creating air compression in that cavity. And to make this work for me and my body with my not quite correct understanding of how all this happens is I need to also do some traditional stuff, which is I'm using a lot of air in my core, engaging my abdominal muscles and forcing the air by squeezing it up and out as fast as I can, and then it hits that arched tongue position, and it's kind of like when you put your thumb on the end of a garden hose. And that's been what I've been doing to try to, we'll say, play high notes, because that's what I'm doing. I'm not making any music here, to be honest with anybody. I'm just making high notes. The method difference from the new book is to take your bottom lip and rest it against the top teeth's cutting edge, and then curl it in. Then take your tongue and push it up against your bottom lip on the inside of your mouth, and then your tongue then is still going to do that same forward arch, which creates a smaller cavity for the air. And that additional compression is supposed to be the holy grail, and it only works if you use less air. Using as little amount of air as you think is possible, and then use half of that, and that's what you're supposed to be using. Like, exhale all the way. There's nothing for me to breathe. And then, yeah, that's probably how much air you have left, you think. But you can still talk without breathing. There's still more. Keep going. Okay? Use, like, no air in your body, and you should be able to compress the air. And the higher you want to play, the less air you should use. Now, sure, I can tell you that, but when I try to put the horn on my face, that doesn't work. So I have to use a lot of air, and I have to compress it with my abs in order for me to be able to sustain the laser focus of sound that I am going for. I am looking for the tenets of tone, power, range, and endurance that have been drilled into my head since I was 13. And I am getting, with what I'm doing, tone and power and endurance. I can just blast high notes for 3 hours a day and I'm fine. This stuff doesn't do anything. The face muscles aren't doing anything other than anchoring. And even that is incorrect. Anyone who read any of this stuff would say, hey, these are supposed to be relaxed and floppy. Okay, well, that works for people that are doing it right. And I'm not doing it right because I'm doing what I'm reading and it's not working for me. So I am kind of anchoring in, and when I'm in like a lower medium range, I am not anchoring the tongue on my teeth at all. It's in between my open teeth, but it is kind of just chilling. If anything, sometimes it'll get close to touching where like the soul patch area of the inside of my lip would be, down there. And so a low to medium range, low C, and below, up to let's say like G, A, B, above the staff, C, top staff C, would be the point where I would think about, anchoring that tongue to the teeth. So if I'm coming in to attack on a high C, yeah, my tongue is anchored. And there's a difference in that position. And so there's a low gear and a high gear. The spit buzz, unanchored, relaxed range, right? And then the horn amplifies the mouthpiece, which locks it in better, right? So in that range, yeah, it feels great, and playing feels like it flushes the chops, refreshes them, moves the lactic acid out. I don't get tired at all. When I am trying to play higher, what gets tired? Not my lips, not my tongue. It couldn't. It's the rest of my body that's doing the work to create the compression. So if I want to use less of my body to create the compression and have the compression all happen inside here, then I would probably have to be understanding this method better. So I bought the book. $10. It's about, the same price as going to go see a movie, and I get to read a 57-page book about trumpet embouchure, and that's really fun. But the new position with the tongue contacting the bottom lip that is pressing up against the top teeth curled inside of your mouth, I can't figure out how the heck to make a spit buzz while doing that. Sure, yeah, that's a spit buzz, but that's one pitch, right? I don't really understand how to make it go into the full range of the instrument's range. Because when I'm doing that, I have to think about opening my jaw, which is against what the method suggests. The method suggests that you should be trying to push your jaw up and forward and in. And that sounds thin and airy, and that would be a thin and airy sound, and that's not what I'm going for. I mean... Yeah, it gets compression. If you incorporate the other methods that we're not supposed to be doing, right? I'm not supposed to be using a lot of air or trying to squeeze my abs in to expel it. I'm supposed to be getting all the compression from up here. And when there's no air in the tank, I got nothing going on. I don't get a vibration. If I put that lip position in and I use air, then I get something. But you can hear that it's fallen flat, and that's because I'm not using as much of the same part of my lip to do it. And I noticed that on the horn. In this new position, it's making the tip of my lip if I was a turtle, right? And the tip of the beak of the mouth. That is now feeling a weird vibration on the inside red fleshy part. And that's not something I'm used to. It also feels like the system collapses if I don't lock the horn to my face using too much pressure. I would prefer to use less pressure because I don't want these to ever feel like they're getting tired. So just bear with me. You've already probably clicked off because this is 10 minutes long. But old method. New method. So what I feel when I am losing it, like you're on the cutting edge of falling off a cliff, right? When I feel like I'm gonna fall off and not be able to get the note out, what I'm feeling is, hey, that extra red fleshy part of my lip I was telling you about, that feels like it's getting a vibration that almost gets a burning sensation, which is unpleasant. I feel like that's probably not supposed to happen. And well, that is what I've distilled from 2 pages of a 57-page book on the evolution of a trumpet method that is like, 60 years of some guy's life. I like the Stomvi mouthpiece. The Stomvi mouthpiece is very nice. It's the same rim as my Yamaha mouthpiece. They're so similar that it's surprising that I feel a difference and hear a difference. But the cups are basically to the thumb. So here's my revision from yesterday's video, or 2 days ago's video. The Yamaha mouthpiece and the Stomvi mouthpiece are the same rim to my face. They feel exactly the same. The cups are different. They are slightly shallower around the Stomvi, but the approach angle is different, and so this is more funnel shaped. This is more of a tight bowl shape. The trick that makes the Stomvi special is with the couplers. These are cut for the Reeves sleeves, so you can dial in the gap to your lead pipe and change it depending on which instruments you're playing on. So if you've got one instrument and it plays exactly how you want it to, then this doesn't do anything for you, really. But if it feels like it's a little off, if you feel like it's a little fluffy or airy when you want it to be centered and focused, and if you notice that same mouthpiece on a different instrument feels different, sounds different, then changing the sleeve increases or decreases the overall length of the mouthpiece, which changes the gap distance, and that has a really big effect. So when I got this, it came with 3 different size sleeves, 4, 4.5, and a 5. And for my Yamaha trumpet and for my G bugle, the 4 is where it's at. On my Calet trumpet, the 4 felt it was too something. I don't know what words to describe it. The notes feeling closer or further away, maybe, is the right way to put it. I'll say too slippery. 4 was too slippery. so that I would slide into notes rather than being able to lock into the partials. And then the 5 sleeve on all 3 of my horns was just awful. It was, it felt like every single note was further away. And that's not great. It's not good for endurance. It's not good for changing pretty much everything about the blow that you're putting into the instrument. The 4 on my Yamaha and the 4.5 on the Calet are definitely correct for my body, and there's a wide range. I think it goes from like 1 to 7, so everybody's different. If we could all get like measured and have like adjustable receivers on the end of our trumpets, that'd be pretty great, but we don't live in that world, because you gotta really invest in the boutique stuff to get that. So these Flex mouthpieces are super awesome, and I'm really glad I got turned on to them. The sound is there. The one thing that I will say about my Yamaha mouthpieces, it's got all the sizzle and all the high-end frequency vibration overtones that I'm looking for, but the low register to mid register are muddy. And the Stomvi has that same sparkle in the upper register, and it feels the same on my face, but the low register feels like it slots just like the upper register. And that's awesome. And it feels easier to play overall. There we go. 17 minutes, and I am gonna keep playing for like another 2 hours because that seems to be the way of things. But yeah, all right.